Real women, real friends, real shit. We do this crazy thing called life together, but don't ever think that it means we're always on the same page. We're real people. We have our peaks and valleys, and we've been friends since the 2nd and 3rd grades. So as much as we're friends, we're sisters, and you know how that be. We've grown up together, laughed, loved, experienced heartbreak, overcome disagreements, became mothers, wives, grieved our parents, and started our spiritual gangster journeys together. Now we're sharing our fears, regrets, triumphs, and some shit we never even talked about with each other. With you.
You'll relate to one of us, both of us, or neither of us.
But you will laugh and cry and feel something. So grab your wine, your friends, and your legal marijuana and prepare to kiki with us
as we tackle everything from addiction
to ding dong
to dick. All love, no bullshit.
No bullshit.
We gotta say it. We can't not say it. But I want to say it like from addiction to DAC. Can I say DAC? Can I say DAC? Look, can I say it? Go.
Welcome to episode 3 of The Other Side of the Bullshit.
My daddy called it reefer. I'm gonna call it reefer.
Welcome to episode 5. It's called. I said episode 5.
Why? You already said episode 3.
I don't know. I guess because I got 5 on it. That's the name of the episode.
I got 5 on it is the name of the episode.
Where are my chips?
No.
Control thyself.
Okay. I mean, I'm good.
Me too.
I don't know.
Now we're gonna be having this live night, right?
That's gonna be fun.
Where we're gonna be live. It's gonna be like drink names or whatever, right? And you're gonna see, like, we're not gonna do too much editing. So it's not like we're gonna be doing a bunch of editing. It is what it is. I need to take out some of my crime, but I ain't. So, we're gonna have a live night. And we're gonna be like drinking.
We can have people come on. We'll have y'all join us on the live, ask questions. We're gonna make sure we send out the drink of the night beforehand, so you can have all your ingredients and we can drink together. Cause you know we gotta have a good time together. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, that's gonna be the other side. All bullshit.
Sure. Cause we don't plan on getting messy on here, but if any messiness is gonna happen, it's gonna happen on those.
It's gonna happen on the live, and hopefully we can erase it forever off the intranet. Because apparently people think that's what you could do. That's why they be out here being crazy.
It's gonna be there.
So today's episode is about weed, marijuana, reefer, Mary Jane, Keisha.
They do got one named Keisha.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Smoking on that what?
Think so.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about today. And we've prepared.
Yes.
Reference out a few things. Did our homework of sorts, due diligence.
Research. Research, guys.
You know, that's the word I was looking for the entire time. How you say?
I got you. Yo, that's how you say it. We gotta tell them how you say it. We said it in like all 3 episodes.
You gotta tell them. I wasn't even there. I just got this like secondhand hilariousness.
So I used to work for a daycare center, and the director, she had a heavy African accent, and
you know the Africans.
Yeah, please don't.
Straight up.
Please don't be trying to twist what we saying, okay?
Don't. We get canceled ourselves.
Right.
It's just she just African.
Right. So when she would find it hard to find a word or, you know, like a phrase to use, most times when she was insulting people, you know, she would turn to her little protege, like her little nemesis, her little, you know, partner in crime, and be like, how you say this? And the other person would tell her in her snooty voice, I don't know, reefer. So
the gateway.
Ganja. So when we say how you say, that is where how you say came from. But this woman used to torture my life, y'all. Like, she was legit. I mean, I never had someone be the way she was with me as a boss. It was really toxic. I should have sued her. It was that bad.
Anyway, trauma. So it's still like mad funny, and I don't ever know no words, and so I would use it. I'm sorry.
How you say?
How you say? Hi. Up. Right. So first of all, I gotta take these glasses off because this ain't helping no kind of situation, right?
I'm gonna keep mine on.
You go ahead. I need to be able to read. Okay.
I
So
got a lazy eye.
and I have none, so
it gets lazier.
Yo, if you don't feel like if you ain't with the shits today, just turn it off. Because you're gonna be like mad irked. But if you gonna get off work and go smoke, prepare thyself. Research. Right. So let's be clear. I said I was never gonna smoke, yo. I was. We gonna drop a picture of our parents.
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're gonna drop a picture of our parents. Because we got the flyest 4 parents ever to, I don't even know. It's like I don't know. They're gorgeous, right? And cool. And they smoke weed. At my properties, they gave the keys out. My first property, they gave the keys out in these little yellow envelopes, like the thick little baby manila envelopes. And I was like, first thing I thought when I saw them was like, that's a lot of weed. I am like 25 years removed from seeing those little envelopes. And I was like, that's a lot of weed. As soon as I got home, I called my dad like, Dad, yo, they use the weed envelopes to put like keys in, right? Nevertheless, I said I was never going to smoke. I think I was hating. I think I was hating because I had to go in the basement and I had to go upstairs and I had to go everywhere where there was no weed for me.
Oh yeah, we had to go where the kids were supposed to be.
Yeah, you gotta be where the kids were supposed to be.
We couldn't be at the
And
party.
I knew it was about to go down, but I just like watched you roll it like inside of the top of a freaking sneaker box and the little seeds and all that. What happened to the seeds?
Yeah, there ain't no more seeds. The seeds don't be there no more.
Yeah, that don't feel right.
I mean, you can get them. People give you shake. That's what they call it.
Oh, that don't sound right.
Well, it's the seeds and the twigs and all the stuff you don't want. So
what, they give it to you separate, like barbecue sauce?
Like a condiment, yeah.
And then what I'm supposed to do with it?
I mean, you could grow them if you want to.
So why did they start taking it out?
Because nobody would. Do you want the seeds?
It was so okay. Watching it,
it's nostalgic.
It was very like they roll, they turn the jaw, and they turn it back, and then they turn it and they roll it. I mean, it seemed like they was having a good goddamn time to me. It makes me feel very uncomfortable, and now I'm thinking about like grapes with no seeds, and I'm thinking how maybe that ain't right.
Yeah, it's not. But like, you can find some seeds.
I'm not gonna go buy some separately.
No, don't go buy them separately. But I know, for me, marijuana has always been present, like, in my life. My dad, shout out to Rob, the coolest daddy ever. Rob was he ain't hiding none of his business at all, none of it. And I remember, when I was little, like it was normal to see him rolling his little cigarettes, his joints. That's what he called them, joints. I'm rolling my joints. And he kept it in this little wooden box, and I actually have that box.
I love that.
I do. I have a wooden box, just like he had. But he kept it in this wooden box, and he would keep all of his accessories in there. His papers, his lighter, and his reefer. He kept it in that box, and that box, was a staple in my home. And I love that he didn't hide it or make it seem like it was something bad or.
I think back then it wasn't so. Our parents protected us, but they kept it like mad real.
Yeah.
And I think that I like to think, and that actually I know that I brought that to Sierra. Like, I don't have any secrets from Sierra. I know you don't have any secrets from Jordan. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm an imperfect human, and I'm a human first. I'm your mom second. Like, I'm probably your mom like fourth. For real.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? Like, I had 17 whole years before you came, and you was my everything. But But I tried to be very transparent with her in every single thing. And with that, my parents didn't go into another room. They didn't go into the bathroom. They didn't go like nowhere. Nah, like we watching, I don't want to say cartoons because that's like mad weird, but it was done there.
Right.
They didn't, I don't remember clouds of smoke being around my head. I don't think that they smoked in my presence.
Yeah.
But they most certainly prepared.
Yeah.
So when you see when them Jones is there, they gonna dip off for a little bit.
Right.
I can respect it.
Right. And he made sure we were straight. Like, y'all watch the show.
I don't know, eat that while I hold you. I'm good.
Right.
You don't run at me salsa? Bam, I'm good. Yeah.
But you said you wasn't never gonna smoke.
No, I said like I adamantly and disrespectfully was like, you guys are drug addicts, and Nancy Reagan said, and I had to do a report on, and
you were like the cops.
I was like the fresh police.
You were.
We gonna talk about when you say you kissed a boy, and I ain't talk to y'all another day, because I was disgusted that you let somebody put their tongue in your mouth. I was like mortified.
You followed all the rules. You were a rule follower. When did you become a rule breaker? This is interesting. Okay. We're gonna get there. You did follow all the rules, though.
That reminds me of last time when Fontaine was like, who talks about jaywalking? Who even says jaywalking? Like, you don't want to never cross the street. I was just telling my partner about how you don't want to cross the street. I said, it's not that I don't care about a jaywalking ticket. Let's be clear. I park wherever I want. I'm saying, like, if somebody hits me while I'm in the lines, that's really bad. He's like, oh my God. I don't know, man. I just feel like if it's the rule, you're supposed to follow it. Because if I put rules, the other people are supposed to follow it. And then one day, I don't know, something just snapped inside of me. I was like, what rules? I don't got no rules. But at the same time, I was really like, oh, those are the rules. So it was like fake. It was like a fake persona. I had a fake persona for like a really long time. And that's interesting. We need to do an episode on that. I had a fake persona for a really, really long time. It was a very heavy jacket.
Okay.
I'm so good.
Take that. Take it off.
That's too weird.
Stay wavy. Look at that t-shirt. That's so cute.
That's Obama. He inhaled. Claim it. That was our parents. Like, straight up, fly as hell, like, whatever, you know? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yes.
A story about this shirt.
Okay, sorry.
Damn, I wish I could call Fontaine right now. I got this shirt on Martha's Vineyard the day before I got proposed it to.
Oh.
And the lady at the register, I was on Martha's Vineyard, was like, oh, do you know who that is?
I almost said a word.
And I said it probably out loud to her face.
Okay.
Ma'am, that is my president. What do you mean? And she was like, oh no, because somebody else thought it was not my president. Just another random OJ. This hoe said OJ. No joke. It came back to me like how I wanted to smack her in her face. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? He murdered his presidency.
Right.
So rude. But what was I saying?
About your jacket. You took your jacket off.
Yeah, I took my jacket off. Like, you know, like not this heavy persona. But why was I saying that?
Because you're talking about how you were the police.
Oh yeah. So
smoke.
yeah, I guess I was just always the police. Like, you know, I had the name Thomasina when it came to work and shit. I mean,
I got
you
you.
get money.
It's funny you mentioned
Make the rules.
Nancy Reagan because I remember when I first found out that reefer was considered a drug. Right? So like I said, my dad never hid anything, in the house. So I remember going to school one day and they did the DARE program.
I know that.
Remember the DARE program?
Had me looking at my parents like
terrible. So
same, right?
Right. So the DARE program comes to our school and they're pulling out all the drugs and pictures of the drugs, and I see the reefer.
Oh my God, did I snorkel?
She did snort.
That was Serena.
Okay.
I hope that damn video ain't recording this episode either. My hand's going to hurt. Sorry.
You are so crazy. So they pull out the reefer and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I have drugs in my house, right?
You probably looked at me like,
I'm panicking, right? Like I'm panicking inside, but I can't tell these people I got drugs in my house, right?
we was in the same auditorium watching
We were.
the same show, right?
We were. Everybody was in there, every class, okay? So I'm like, oh my God. So I go home, cry. I'm all a mess. I walk in the house like, Daddy, you do drugs. Daddy, you're doing drugs. Daddy, I can't believe you do drugs. The people at school told us drugs are bad. And he's sitting there like, baby, what you talking about? And I'm like, the reefer. I call it marijuana because they use the temperature. The marijuana, Daddy. The marijuana is drugs. Like, imagine, I was so devastated. I was so devastated because, mind you, he's my hero. Okay, he is my absolute hero. So now my hero's on drugs. This is what the school has taught me. Okay, so he's like, baby. He rubs my back. I mean, picks me up, kisses me, loves me, baby. Listen.
How old were you?
I had to be 6 or 7. Yeah, it was like 6 or 7. So he's like, baby, listen, sits me down, looks me square in my face, baby. Daddy doesn't do drugs, okay? This is reefer. This ain't drugs. Okay. And with that, I was like, okay. Like, them people crazy. I don't know what they talk about. My daddy said this is reefer. This is not drugs. So
I was still very distraught.
Yeah,
I found no comfort.
They can go to hell. My daddy smoked reefer. Y'all do drugs. My daddy do.
So, without I don't know, it's a statute of limitations.
Oh, we way past that.
Okay, well, still, that ain't the one. But there was other things happening also, and so it was very. And then I had this guy brother that was the man. And so one day I seen the biggest, like this. It was back like this. It was back like this. I was like, oh! I was freaking, what's the girl D? Or what's happening? Oh! I remember getting punched that day from my uncle and him, but they was like, yo, get the hell out of here. And I was just like, this ain't right. Y'all going to jail. You get a cell, you get a cell, you get a cell. And so in all seriousness though, when I was younger because of that, when I would hear cop cars, I would think they were coming. And I vividly remember laying in the bed a lot of nights. We from Camden. You hear fire trucks and stuff and cop cars and stuff. And I honestly thought that they were coming a lot. I remember being in the car and knew that there was something going on, and then I heard the cops as we were getting pulled over, and thinking that this was not going to end well. So I also, I think I just came to the goddamn realization right now that I had fear associated with it as well. It was deeper than just smoking it. It was, it could end my life.
Gotcha.
It could take people away from me, and I was scared.
Okay.
I was scared, quite honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I just came to that conclusion right now. Boy, let me tell you something. These journeys be so goddamn annoying. They just be coming out the clear blue sky. But that's what happens when you open your heart and your mind and you start to think damn, where do these things come from? Everything comes from somewhere. And I want to give a shout out to my husband because he will ask the question, where do you think that comes from? When we first started to date, like, where do you think that comes from? I was like, I don't know, dude. Oh, he's so like always, yeah. Like, why you gotta ask me so many questions? This is like, what is this? 21 questions? God, but he really helped me unpack a lot of stuff, and to be able to, what do you say when I go through all this like this, and you like, I love to see you talk yourself through it.
Yeah, talk yourself through
high
it.
ass like,
I'm like, what did I say?
Talk yourself through it. I love to see you talk yourself through. He actually said it the other day. He's like Serena said, I love to see you talk yourself through it.
It's awesome to watch it.
It's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey. Nevertheless, so I had that fear associated with it, and when I became what I thought was an adult, had my first apartment with my first boyfriend, and he smoked. But we were young, like we were like 19, you know, like 20. And one time he like rolled it and put up on the heater. My daughter like 1 year old, 2 years old, and I didn't see it. Of course, he would never do that with me there. I seen it on a video. Mm-hmm. I freaked out. You were crackhead! And my daughter could have put her hands up there, and then she put her hand in her mouth, and then I gotta explain to my dad and her dad and the police why she had a drug overdose.
Talk about you ain't going in for a crackhead.
I was dead ass serious. I was like, you brought crack in this house. He was like, it's weed! It's just weed! And I'm like, I don't care. It's drugs. It's just drugs. And he was like, yeah. I think that's why he broke up.
That was not why you broke up. That was not.
Maybe. I was like real like, my baby could have put her hand up there and touched one of them seeds and then put it in her mouth, and now it's a weed plant in my baby's stomach, and I gotta try to explain to the police how it got there.
But you were traumatized too.
Am I boring?
No, it's not.
What do you? I heard you yawn. Everybody, you too. Y'all see her ass yawn. I'm pretty sure we're being recorded.
It's okay.
Y'all didn't see her mouth?
No, I played it.
That's where it needed to be a zoom to her goddamn mouth. No, not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Anyway, what is your first experience? What is your
first experience?
I like how you figured out what I was saying.
All right, so my first experience, it was my 16th birthday.
Interesting.
It was my 16th birthday, and I too was like a weed snob. Like,
you still are?
A little bit.
No, a lot.
A lot of bit. I am. I'm a lot of bit a weed snob.
I be caught out there because I'm a smoke whatever. Oh, what's up? Oh, Snoop, pass that.
No, I'm a snob.
Is that wedding cake? Is that blueberry kush?
Listen.
I'm like, well, I don't know. What you mean? You smoking or not?
No, I'm not.
Nope. She's like,
nope.
It's okay.
No,
I got my vape in my purse.
Yeah, I got my own.
It's like a little bit like disrespectful. Like, you cook for a nigga. I mean, oh my God. You cook for a dude, and then they be like balling up your food and put it in the plate, or they just like, I didn't eat that.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I mean, it's
come here.
Yeah, I mean, but on my first time, I wasn't a snob, you know. But I actually meant a snob, meaning like I turned my nose up at it too, even though it was very regular in my house growing up. When I became a teenager, the guys that I knew that smoked were like, oh, I'm not really doing too much, you know. It was like,
meditate.
Yeah, just their lifestyle wasn't something I wanted to subscribe to. So I was like, yeah, I don't like this. You know, like I'm probably not going to do this. But it was my 16th birthday, and I was with one of my good friends, and
boy or girl?
It was a girl, and another guy, my cousin. And he came over and was like, you know, happy birthday, Reem. Got something for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And he brought it over to me, and he, lit it up. And I was like, well, all right, I'm going to try it. And
in hindsight, how do you feel about that?
About what?
Like, he listening.
About what?
I snort a lot when I smoke.
That's okay.
About like a 16-year-old being introduced to basically drugs, because I mean, let's call it what it is.
Let me see. I don't know. It ain't a drug, but
It's reefer.
It's reefer, right? I don't think it's a problem. Put it this way, I wouldn't have been upset with my children.
Okay.
At 16, you know, because they were still taking care of business. It only becomes a problem for me if you're not handling your handle.
I just wrote that down because I remember a situation where you was like, it's like the best thing ever. Like, you celebrate with weed. Right. You don't got nothing to celebrate.
Right. Like, weed is for
You're
winners.
not successful.
Right.
Weed is for winners.
Yeah.
And that was like, true that.
I meant that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna openly talk about that because he don't mind. So my son, man, he
hey man.
Hey man.
You still ain't no man to me. Stop. I remember you looked at me like that when I came out and I said that was disrespectful, not disrespectful. What's up, kid?
So man is my son. Actually through a relationship I was in, I was dating his dad, and things didn't work out quite well with his dad, but by that point I had loved him. You know, like he was mine and I was his. So we was rocking and rolling. And there was a point where he had to come live with me because things weren't, you know, he wasn't getting along with his dad, and he was just in a space where he needed to come live with me. And I was grateful because that was the first time he'd ever lived with me, you know, so got to see what it was like to be with me full time. But also the type of love that I give, right? So I remember just telling him, like, you know, the rules are I just don't want you smoking in my house. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't want him smoking at all because I didn't feel like he was in a place to be smoking. Like, you know, he wasn't working, and I just felt like he was in this transition era where it could go either way. Mm-hmm. Like, he could really, you know, be like, you know what, I'm just going to not do nothing, play this game all day, smoke and whatever. Mm-hmm. Or he can make the decision to, like, catapult to the next phase. Mm-hmm. And I remember coming home one day from work, working hard. He ain't had no job at the time, you know. And I'm like, yo, my house smell like weed. Didn't I tell this boy he can't be in here smoking? So he like, you know, I called him and like, yo, I told you don't be in here smoking. What you smoking for? And this smell like some shit I smoke. You know, like, it was good. It wasn't no trash. So I'm like, clearly this was expensive. Right. I'm like, this is expensive. Where you get the money? Because ain't no rent being paid here. Like, where is this coming from? You know, and I basically told him at the time, I was like, you know, this right here is what you smoke when you celebrating an accomplishment. You know what I mean? This ain't for nothing regular, and we ain't accomplishing nothing right now. This weed is for winners, and you ain't winning right now. And I meant that with all the love in my heart because it was true. Like, you know, he wasn't winning. So I'm like, you can't be just sitting there smoking, chilling, and doing nothing with your life. That's the problem I have with it.
Yeah,
like
it is. People will use it as like a sedative.
Yeah, as an escape.
Yeah,
escapism.
Very much so. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, listen, I have a problem with that. Well, I'm like, rub my arm like I ain't, like it wasn't just weed. I'm like, ooh, skin. But my thing is, you have to know when to stop.
Yeah.
You gotta know. My dad said, he said this about anything. He said, do what you can do until you can't stop and then stop. You know? So it could be times where I'll be like smoking every day or having an edible every day. And then I'm like, that's not cool. And then I won't smoke for 3 months. I won't smoke for a year. And then I'll smoke again because it's like, you have to know, you gotta notice if there's a change in your behavior. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, I smoke sativa, but it still puts me in a relaxed state. And I'll be like, studio what? Mm-hmm. I don't need to do no advertising, we good over here. Like, you know what I mean? You get complacent, you can get lazy on it. Mm-hmm. So if you're in like a transitional state, like a certain age or whatever, and you're trying to go to the next level and you know, find your way, sometimes it's not the best thing.
Yeah, it's not.
You know?
It's not.
Because,
on a regular basis.
Yeah, on a regular basis.
Yeah. Socially,
and like you said, like congratulatory and stuff and whatever. And this is just our opinion. Like, we ain't, listen. Don't listen to us. Shit, don't listen to me. You listen to us. I'm not listening to her, but so we're just saying in our opinion, clearly, that if you're a loser, don't be smoking.
Yeah, there it is. If you're losing, don't smoke when you're losing.
Oh, you said it so much nicer. I said if you're a loser, and you said if you're losing.
Yeah, if you're losing.
So what do you mean by losing? Because I can tell you what I mean by loser.
Okay, so losing meaning like you're just in a state where you're not winning. Like you may
Let's
not
say
be
unproductive.
Unproductive, okay. Unproductive,
yeah, because losing could be like I think people I know it's like a lose-win thing to like certain people, but then certain stuff you gotta like learn your lessons. So we don't want to like say like losing.
All right, that's cool. So learning your lessons. So when you're learning some of your lessons, like if the lesson is I need to go out there and make something happen to get some type of financial stability. Yeah, like you can't be smoking all day and
you gotta pass a drug test.
Some places you do. Yeah, you gotta pass a drug test and. Like it's just because, like I said, depending on what you're smoking. And for me, I'm gonna speak personally.
Yeah.
Whatever mindset I'm in, it's going to enhance it, right? It's going to elevate it. So for me, if I'm in a mindset of being productive, taking care of my business, doing everything, then it's going to just literally make me do more of that. Create a creative space. If I'm in it's going to enhance that. But if I'm in a space of woe is me, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't want to get up and go to this place. It's going to enhance that for me.
That is the freaking ticket. Sign me up. That's the ticket because it's so true. Like, and quite honestly, it's a stimulant of sorts.
Yeah.
And so, or a downer, or whatever. I don't know about the doctor, but whatever it does, it's exactly what you said. It like heightens however it is you feel. If I'm feeling sexual, if I want to dance, if I'm ready to have a good time, but if I want to go to sleep, then I also get sleepy too. So I'm in the John like, yo, that John keep making me sleepy. Well, how you sleepy? They were like, you got the lowest THC level. This 7%. I mean, and I'm like, I'm sleepy.
Right.
I'm gonna sleep. So that's why I just want to put me to sleep immediately. You know what I mean? But when I'm souped and when I'm happy, and even today, it's like, oh, this is an amazing day. Let's celebrate.
Right.
Not only are we going to talk about it, but let's celebrate. So we can go, laugh, and talk, and like.
Right. No, I get it.
Because it's so true, and I will say that I have abused it. I've abused it when I've been sad. I've abused it when I wanted to go to sleep. I've abused it when I just didn't want to be present. And now being on the other side, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I be chilling. I be on the computer like.
Handle your business.
Yeah. And I didn't see that as an option. First of all, I ain't know there were so many different types because I ain't choosy. And we clarified that.
Yeah, I try to help her a lot.
What?
I did.
I almost called you out your name.
I did try to help you.
Help me what?
Help you with like which kind will work and tell you need to use better
You
products.
Okay, no, you didn't.
I was telling you need to use.
I helped you. I gave you Edible Eats. Go check them out.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna pay me for that?
Yeah, Edible Eats is.
They like.
We gotta go to that 4-course meal with a 5-course meal.
I know you've been talking about it.
I know
already.
we are. We're gonna go.
Anyway, shout out because they are the cousins of one of my little besties. So, and you get that free advertising. That free draw. They gonna put their Instagram right there because they was up. But you ain't trying to help me, Lucius.
Okay.
Probably listening to Serena, so she probably did. I be taking shit on little nothing. I'm telling you, that's why when I watched her do that little ditty, I was like, oh girl, you're not stupid. But I'm not buying. I don't know what she be buying, and I'm not buying all that. Like, it's kind of like
I do my research. I look up.
I'm not researching weed.
Well, see, that's the problem because I needed to do specific things.
It ain't no problem because I just go to the doctors now when I need to go to the doctors. I'm legal. You legal? No.
By way of someone I am.
Oh my God! Don't admit they stole somebody's stuff.
They don't know.
Just because y'all got the same name, don't mean that's yours.
Well,
Sorry, Miss Serena. I mean, if you got to do any jail time, I will put money on your books.
but you know, when I learned early though, like the difference, right? Just by partaking, but with certain people,
So
like how
as a small
it made
kid,
me
you
feel.
knew, oh really? You always been present with your body. You might not have been present up all in this world and stuff, but you always been really present with your. I'm pregnant. You just did it yesterday. What are you talking about?
I am very present with my body.
period's coming. So I'm sure. I'm real. She's so annoying.
I am.
Something like she will.
I'll be on point.
You do be on point. You done saved your life like 800 times. Like straight up. Like get checked out. Pay attention to your body. Cause this jaw right here. She's like, this makes me feel. I'm talking about weed at like 17? Like, who's doing that?
I did. I would notice like the different ways that it would make me feel. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like this or I like this. So then I started thinking like, well, what's the difference between them? It really wasn't until I want to say maybe like 10 years ago that I started to learn. I even learn there were two different kinds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Things. Yeah, I
Put
didn't
me
know
back maybe 6 years. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
10 years ago, I learned that there's a sativa and an indica, and that they are opposite, you know, and that.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to keep mine right here.
Okay, keep it right there. So once I learned that, and then had access to the different strains, because in the hood you only get, what's it called?
It's not just the hood.
Okay.
On the streets.
On the streets, you only get
streets.
On the street. On the streets, you could only get like sour diesel. You know, like that was like all the rage, and I ain't like that.
Wait, can I pause you for a second? Do you remember? I started dating somebody, and I always been like mad weird, right? And he was like, "You smoke?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I smoke." And he was like, "You want some blueberry kush?" I was like, "Oh no, I don't do regular. I don't do all that extra stuff." And he was like, "What?
Regular? Ew."
He was like, "What?" I was like, It's like sounds cracky. He was like, "What? No, regular sounds cracky. I don't know what you're talking about." He was like, "I feel disrespected." Yeah, I was like, I called him like, he was like blueberry kush, and I was like, "I don't do that." She's like, "What?"
Girl, the cushions is everything.
I was like, I don't know. It just sounded like crack. I was old.
All the cushions are great.
I was old.
You can never go wrong with a kush.
I mean, okay. Says you trying to learn me something.
I do. I be trying to teach you.
Don't be teaching me nothing.
You know, but then I think about too, like, in different, like you were saying about different periods of life where you would stop. So for me, I used to struggle with it from a religious, spiritual standpoint, right? Because I knew how it affected me. Like, I've never had a real negative experience with it for the most part.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. For the most part, it would help me. Like during a period where I didn't know I suffered from anxiety. I didn't know that I had anxiety, but I knew that when I smoked, I felt more at ease. My thoughts weren't as jumbled. And even from a place of depression, sometimes when I was feeling real blue, like I was smoking, my mood would enhance. You know, I would feel better. But I struggled with that because in church, you're told,
pray it away.
Right, you can't do drugs. You know, drugs are bad. You know, smoking weed. Where I'm like, this ain't really a drug, but you know. So there would be times where I was kind of like on my spiritual journey, my Christian walk.
You was on those times.
My Christian walk. When I was on my Christian walk, I wouldn't do it, but then it was like, yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But I was really happy when I got to a place of my own personal relationship with God.
And with everything.
And everything.
And a healthy relationship with everything.
Yeah.
A healthy relationship with whatever medication, a healthy relationship with alcohol, with weed, like all that stuff. Yeah, because now you have the control. It's not like you have to even worry about it controlling you.
At all.
And you're probably in the same realm as me, as if you have addictions in your family.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be really
careful.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be very careful with what you allow yourself to be overcome with.
Yes.
One question I had though, you said, so to backtrack, we talked about like it can enhance however you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and it's just for people that don't smoke, like,
mm-hmm.
or that are thinking about it or whatever. So you said it might enhance. So if you're sad, then it'll make you sad, and if you're happy, then it'll make you happier.
Mm-hmm.
But then just now you said that if you were sad, it could make you happy. Like,
Right.
when did you find those occasions to be the case versus the latter?
Not necessarily changed me from sad to happy,
Mm-hmm.
but if my mood was just low,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like a pick me up.
You would feel a false sense of.
I'm not even gonna say
what?
a false sense of anything.
Mm-hmm.
It almost felt like I felt right.
Really?
Yeah. It was like quite the opposite. Like my down mood wasn't normal. That was false. How I felt was like, okay, this
More
is
like yourself.
more like myself.
Wow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't more so that like I said, I went from sad to happy. It was just more so like, this is just not.
It was balancing you,
Right.
in a sense.
Exactly.
Like depression drug would do.
Right.
Like chemical balance.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it was like. And I actually talked to my therapist at the time,
Mm-hmm.
about that, because I'm like, I've always looked for natural alternatives.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, I don't look for medicine to be my first option.
I don't like no medicine.
Yeah. So when
Did y'all see Dope Sick? Watch Dope Sick.
Yeah, those is crazy. I watched like 4 episodes and I was just like, wow.
Finish that on that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, remember that's when I was talking like breakthrough pain. Anyway, different story.
Yeah, so I remember speaking to my therapist about it, and he's like, marijuana can actually help with depression and anxiety. And personally, I suggest that you do.
I'm surprised they said that.
He did.
And kudos to him, because they would much rather prescribe you with some pill that, listen, you do what you got to do.
Right.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah, because I've taken antidepressants.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that they're not for me
Mm-hmm.
because I tried. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do what's for you, and some things are just, But the fact that doctor was able to share with you that there were alternatives versus like trying to like make you be alternative self all the time. Like, it just is uncomfortable for me to think that I can't come off of something and be okay.
Right, and he's the one that actually helped educate me on the difference between a sativa and an indica.
Really?
He's
This doctor?
Yeah, he did. He was like, you want to stay towards, if you're in a down state, you want to stay towards something that's more of a sativa because it's going to elevate your mood. It's going to give you energy. It's not going to make you sleepy.
What year was this?
Ooh, I'm going to say 2003 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah, 2003 or 4.
Well beyond his years in helping people.
Yeah, 2003 or 4. Yep, he was a great. I was grateful for
God
him.
bless him for that.
Yeah, he was awesome.
God bless him.
He also recommended like vitamin supplements.
Yeah,
His thing was, I do not feel at this time that you need antidepressants, and I had been on antidepressants before. So for me, it was kind of like feeling how I was feeling. I'm like, do I need to be back on it? He's like, no, exercise, eat right, supplements. If you need marijuana to either help you increase your mood or go to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was his.
I mean, I would. Who am I to encourage a doctor to do a goddamn thing? Yeah, like, okay, Keisha. But like, I just think that there's like too much medicine out there. Like, it's just so much medicine. Yo, I get bombarded. I can't even watch Hulu. I'm never paying for no commercials. But my goodness, why I gotta hear about every bone in my body hurting while bone in my body is hurting, and then once I get the medicine for every bone to stop hurting, and then you tell me that I'm gonna, like, I don't know, start talking from my butt. Like, that's the side effect. Like, come on, man. Like,
I can't listen to this.
it's it's like,
joke.
it is hard horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Mm-hmm. And it disturbs me because the more like I'm in the house and I listen to that stuff, I see what people who are in the house all the time and listen to that stuff. It's background noise for me, but some people are watching this and ingesting this, and then they're like, we all got a little hypochondriac in us, and then we be like, oh, my butt hurt. Oh, let me go get that. And then it's fine because then the rest of my body gonna hurt, but my butt is fine. It's just so, that's for another day too, because we talking about weed.
Yeah. I agree with you though.
Yeah. So what I will say is that I'm glad of America's progression in marijuana and legalizing marijuana,
right?
Including recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Fontaine. Sierra, that's my solid. She went to Boston. Baby went to Boston. Legal recreation. Mama's coming to see ya, baby. Okay, when she left from Boston, I had to say bye to me dude at the store. I was like, oh, my daughter, she graduated. He's like, no.
Nah, he gonna be mad.
No, that was my dog. I know. He's like, oh man, dang. I'm like, I know. Now she's in Boston. Now she's in DC. It's legal. Booby. But you know what? I just did what I needed to do and like talked to my doctor about it and just was like, sometimes it helps. Yeah. Sometimes it don't. And so I don't use like my whole full prescription, which I think is so crazy. You get a prescription. Mm-hmm. But then what's funny is that Fontaine always is like, okay. Because when I go to these places, in these different places, and I see the people that are in there buying marijuana, I always expecting to see like somebody that I saw before, and I see people I've never seen before. And I'm like, so everybody smoke. So I come out. Because it's packing so cute. It is not like the bag you got stuck in your pocket real fast and run. Mind you, I was never trying to go pick up no weed. I'm not the one. I can't go to jail. My dad ain't the one. Can y'all just bring it back? No, you gonna ride with us. Oh, I don't want to go to jail. Funny. Anxiety all the way, yo. I'm in the car like, oh God, why are we here?
But that situation, I mean, even for somebody who don't have anxiety, was not the
no,
because you felt in danger of possibly going to jail.
Yeah,
and for something so ridiculous.
Right, and so I'm glad that now, people have the opportunity to get high and not feel the anxiety that they're trying to get rid of associated with like trying to feel better. Not that it always makes you feel better and all that, but the fact that people's records are being expunged, that, and the fact that people can get the help that they need. Yeah. And am I boring?
No, it's not you.
I saw it.
It's not you.
That's right. You gotta just let it out. Like you're hungry.
It's making me like a little fatigued.
You hungry?
I'm hungry. I need to eat some food, get my energy up.
You high?
I'm not, baby.
You high? You want?
It's the drink more than.
Snacks.
I think he's a pizza.
Okay. Nevertheless, sound like somebody needs some snacks. So we're gonna bring this episode to a close and say we are happy about the progression and do whatever you do, but don't let it get into, and again, I ain't no person that be giving no advice, so I ain't gonna say, ooh, don't let it get in the way of what you gotta do. If you let it get in the way of what you gotta do, then that's your business, but I'm not doing that. I'm gonna smoke, and I'm gonna stay up, I'm gonna type this joint, I'm gonna get this podcast right, we're gonna do everything we're doing, and I hope that's what you're doing, and if you're not, then go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like she about to do.
I'm not going to sleep.
We ain't gonna end this. Like, I don't know. You high. We ain't having no more 5 on it. Reefer, that's my daddy. We ain't even seeing your damn eyes the whole episode. Go ahead, take it off.
I'm not.
Go ahead, take it off.
I'm not blaming this on the reefer. I literally am hungry. I have no nourishment today. I didn't eat all day.
Take your glasses off then. Take your glasses off.
I told you my eye lazy.
What's? Oh my God. That's episode 3. She make me want to smoke. The other side of the bullshit. I'm Keisha.
I'm Serena. Thank you for joining us.
I hope y'all made it through before you lit up that blood.
Right.